Springfield, Missouri is a great stop on our way back to see family. We've been there twice now. We stayed there at Cook's RV Park and a Boondocker's Welcome.
And there's a lot of things to see and do in the area too.
I'm TK.
And I'm Earl.
Let's check it out. Cook's RV Park is a cute little park with some really friendly hosts, and it has everything you could need. It has laundry, bathrooms, I think they gave us a key, full hookups.
Yep, you got everything right there on your site with the electric, the water, and the sewer, so definite plus.
They didn't have a dog park, but they had a nice area just at the edge of the park that was very grassy that you could walk the dogs in.
Yeah, it was a little path that they cut with a lawnmower.
They did have fire pits, but not for each site. They were spread throughout the park. We didn't have any fires, but maybe some other time.
Yeah.
And they are expanding the park. They were expanding when we were there, and I think they're expanding still now, so it's probably even bigger now. They did have a little hot tub while we were there, one that you might see like at a residence.
Yeah.
It had a cover on it. Very small. They did have a strong chlorine content that actually bleached my swimsuit from blue to gray. So I still went in, but probably you might want to check to see if they can
lower the chlorine levels or something. We really enjoyed this park, and I think we'll definitely come back to it next time we come through.
Our second time through Springfield, we used Boondocker's Welcome. We stayed at a really nice place with a super nice host, really cute dog.
Yeah.
And we stayed there for 3 days?
Yep, 3 days.
They did have electric, and you had access to their water, so you could fill up your freshwater tank.
They did have room for 2 spots, 2 RVs there, and we did have neighbors, which was pretty neat. Got to talk to them a few times.
And they said they were pretty busy, like they have a lot of people coming in and out.
Especially during COVID, he made sure to have 2 spots available to have people because a lot of the parks were full up, and he wanted to make sure people had a place to stay. He's a really nice guy, and it was a great stay.
Just $10 a night.
For electricity.
For electricity, it was our second Boondocker stay, and well worth it. We usually look for a nice place to walk, and we found a battlefield right there in Springfield, Wilson's Creek National Battlefield. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
We saw people walking and jogging through there.
And biking too.
You can get in for free if you have
the National Parks Pass,
which we did, so that was pretty sweet. They also have a really nice museum that we checked out that talks a little bit about the Civil War and has some nice displays.
Yeah, a lot of weapons and clothing and all sorts of things from the Civil War.
Talks about the battle and both what was happening with the North and the South and the major participants. And if you go, I would check in advance to see if you can get a tour. We just got really lucky that we happened to show up when the tour guide was there, because they're volunteer tour guides. They just volunteer their time. And there's a house on the property from the site of one of the battlefields, and you can actually take a tour of it as long as there's a tour guide there to take you through.
Yep.
Yeah, that was very serendipitous, super cool. So we got to learn about the family and what was happening that day and how they lived and some really neat stuff. There are plenty of descriptions throughout the battlefield. There are lots of great walking trails. We didn't really have time. We kind of flew through. We did check out some of the important markers throughout the battlefield.
We also stopped by Pythian Castle, which was my first ghost tour.
Earl's first ghost tour. It was just my second. I went to one in Chicago. Pretty awesome. Very beautiful building inside and out. And it has a really interesting history. They do history tours during the day and they do the ghost tours at night. And you can also request a special stay.
Yeah.
I think as a group. Of course, we didn't do that. We took the regular tour. Totally worth it. I don't know if you hear that or not. Reasonable price. And we had a really good tour guide. She was pretty funny.
Yeah, she was fun. I'm not really big on ghost tours. I always try to figure out a logical explanation for things like change in pressure, closing a door, and change in temperature, squeaking the boards, and I always have to try to figure something out in my mind, so I'm not a big believer in ghosts.
But he was really disappointed when we weren't able to hear the basement ghost.
Yeah.
There's this part in the bottom, in the basement, where there's this long tunnel that doesn't have an end because they've, blocked off part of the building connection. There used to be a tunnel between 2 different buildings, and now it's walled off. But supposedly If you walk down this tunnel and you walk back, on your way back you can hear the basement ghost guy who's like, what does he say?
I don't know. He's a grumpy guy, I think,
Yeah,
right?
he's the grumpy guy. That's what they call him.
Yeah.
And he's like, go away or something. He doesn't want you down there.
Yeah, but people with our group, they were real talkative down there and wouldn't be quiet. So.
Yeah, the guide told us to be quiet for a few seconds when we got to the end, but unfortunately we had someone who was claustrophobic, and we had some people who were nervous, and so he was really upset, disappointed. So the Pythian Castle has changed hands quite a bit. It was started by the Knights of Pythias, that it's named for, who are related to the Freemasons. And they had it as a care center and also as an orphanage for people of that order. Mm-hmm. And there are some deaths connected with that time. I think some suicides, possibly some children who passed that may have been ones who haunt the castle. And then after that, it was taken over by the military, who used it as a recreation and recovery center, and also held some World War II prisoners of war there.
Yeah, from Japan, I think it was.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts, is the room that has paintings from a prisoner of war from Japan, as you can see here. Really beautiful. And as we mentioned, there's the basement angry ghost. There are some children ghosts that show up, and I did hear a little bit of giggling at one point. That's the only thing I picked up. And some guy, I saw some pictures from one of the other guys in the tour who picked up some orbs. They also had some recordings they played for us, and there are some, I forget exactly who it is, but it was featured by some of those ghost hunters. BuzzFeed, is it?
Yeah, BuzzFeed was there, and some other like popular YouTube channel.
So you can look it up and check it out if you want. There are some other things that Springfield is famous for that we didn't get to check out.
Getting nuzzled.
He must be hungry. So let us know if you've seen any of these. One of them is Fantastic Caverns.
Yep, lots of advertisements on the highway.
Every mile, I think. It became a joke with us when we were driving up. We're like, hey, I haven't seen a sign in a while. And I'd be like, Fantastic Caverns! We had just been to Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico, and it was a little pricey for us. We're like, maybe another time, but it's supposed to be pretty awesome, so let us know if you have visited there. And also, Lambert's Cafe was recommended to us.
Yeah.
By our hosts.
I guess they throw dinner rolls at you. It's just something that they do, like, started a while back, and someone's just like...
It was spontaneous, because someone was like, hey, I can't get over to you because it was crowded, and the guy was like, the customer was like, just toss them to me.
Yeah.
That's how it started.
So now they throw dinner rolls at you.
So let us know if you think that's cool, if you've been there. And then also, the original Bass Pro Shop is in Springfield. We didn't get to check that out, so let us know if you think it's worth a stop.
So we really enjoyed our stay here in... It wasn't a ghost, I swear. It was Bowser. So we really enjoyed our stay in Springfield, Missouri, and if you'd like to know what an RV park is like before you head there, we do lots of reviews on the places that we've been, so subscribe to our channel and you'll be able to see that, and let us know if there's anything you like to do in Springfield, Missouri as well.
We'll be back.
Yeah, and then that'll let everybody else know what there is to do too. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Take care, and speak up a little bit too.
Okay.
Alright!
Alright, you want to do the wrap up?
Anything to add, Link, since you really want to be on camera here? Huh?
That it started as a crap.
As a crap.
It has, so, I need to know his name.
Here it starts.
Oh.
Here it goes. Oh, bad. Right.
Just
right
climb
here.
on there, pal.
Yeah.
Notebook.
Oh gosh. Oh, we're recording now. Bowser's. We're being attacked by animals.
Sit down.